Let me take you through the distraction series. I go ahead and loop my hand through the band so all the forces of the band are on my wrist. This allows my hand to relax so I don't have to form aggressive grip as I go ahead and go through the movement patterns. The key to this distraction and lengthening series is allowing the body to move on the arm. You'll notice my right arm stays essentially in the same position, and I rotate my body into different movement patterns or positions or bases of support. The key thing here is to make sure the band tension is at a level that you feel comfortable with, that allows you to relax and freely flow through different movement patterns. You'll notice that by facing in different positions, I'm able to stretch my shoulder girdle more aggressively. For example, the posterior shoulder, which is what I'm stretching at this time. As I rotate my body, I'm able to go ahead and lengthen out that posterior shoulder and rib cage as I go through the movement. As I drop down into a hands and knees position, I'm now in a much more stable position and allows me to create even a more aggressive rotational pattern. As you notice though, I just continue to flow through different movement patterns. I'm moving at a little bit faster pace than I normally would. I recommend you take your time, move slowly through these movement patterns, allow yourself to breathe, and allow yourself to go ahead and truly discover different movement regions and patterns as you go through this distraction series. From there, I'm going to go ahead and utilize the same band setup or potentially a lighter band setup if I need to go through my Ys, Ts, and Ws. The key factor here is I'm going to use a staggered stance to keep my back in a more neutral position as I go through Ys, Ts, and Ws. If I need more control, I'm going to go into a half kneeling position, which will now allow me to go ahead and stabilize more effectively, which will in turn allow me to open up my hips more aggressively, especially through the anterior hip on the back leg. But it'll also allow me to relax and take my shoulders through a full range of motion. Notice I'm also using a lighter band resistance in this position. Feel free to adjust your band resistance so you feel like you always have good control. If you strictly want to go ahead and work your shoulder girdle using Ys, Ts, and Ws, you can also put yourself into a completely prone position and allow the band to assist you into more passive overpressure range of motion. Be careful with this and make sure that you go ahead and use a very light band resistance when you do that. Lastly, I'm going to flow directly into my rotational patterns, specifically my golf pattern, and allow me to go ahead and work at creating overpressure into and through my thoracic spine while my shoulder girdle is also stretching out, similar to what would happen with a golf swing. The key thing here is make sure that your base of support is stable and that you are relaxing as you allow the band to take you into the full